What's up, YouTube? How you feel? All right, welcome to Wolf King's Vids. I'm your host, Wolf King. All right, so we got Mr. Deeroy Cruz here. I've noticed Dragnot Silva's boy Drag was reviewing this guy's videos. He seemed kind of funny the way he rants incessantly about random topics from religion to politics and other social issues. So I decided to review myself. Let's see. Here we go. Let's watch. Yeah, okay, so the video is God's morality versus the good atheist, so it's a morality video. Okay, gotcha.
Atheists, this is Deeroy, like Atheist talks about it. Atheists are getting more and more religious every day. I mean, this guy walked up, I knew he was an atheist. I could look at him and tell that he was an atheist. He had that.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, he talks really slow, so that's why I had to increase the speed just a bit. Let me slow it down.
I could look at him and tell that he was an atheist. He had that slash thinking about stuff that's just difficult too much. I could put on a dress in 5 minutes to I must have had to go to college and get a degree because what else do I want to do in my life? Like, I'm not going to go out there and do a regular job. Like, I need to go to college so I can do a job where I don't get my hands dirty. You know, they just all got that look about them.
Okay, a funny observation I found about this guy is that when he tries to make analogies, he doesn't know how to actually draw two things to make them. He can't really create a simile to save his life. Honestly, he can't actually correlate those two things that sound similar and try to make some kind of analogy out of that. He's incapable of doing that. But what he can do is he could take his insecurities and sort of manifest them into these weird sort of knee-jerk responses about his views on atheists, and it's really amusing, you know, to hear from this guy. This dude's like G-Man 2.0 with the way he acts.
But Frank Turk, I'm not really impressed with Frank Turk.
Yeah, he was listening to Frank Turk before. That was the clip we just got done with. I skipped all that for your benefit.
Frank Turk, I love some things he says. Some things he says, I think that he is making it harder to get his point across. You know what I'm saying? He just makes it difficult. But, you know, I like some things he says. I really don't agree with his book. Now, I haven't read the book. I just don't like the title. It takes faith to be an atheist, where I don't have enough faith to be an atheist. That's got to be the dumbest thing that I've ever heard. That's like somebody saying, I don't have enough facial hair, okay, to get a girlfriend. Or I don't play enough PlayStation games, okay, to know anything.
Yeah. This guy does get he does get messed up when it comes to words and stuff like that. But I mean, it's his opinion. I mean, I wouldn't worry about it because of the semantics. But you know, go ahead. It is what it is.
Computers, you know, that's just me, okay. But an atheist in the next video said he did read his book. He talked to him about some of the things in his book. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off and let it play. He talked about some of the things in his book on one of his other videos, or one of this video here that's rolling. He talks about, one of the guys tells him, I've read your book, I'd like to talk to you about some of the things in the book. So we're talking about the subject of the morality of God. The morality of God, you must understand, and I'll read verses maybe in the next, if I don't do it in this one, I'll read verses in the next part 2 of this, but I know I'm going to have to do part 2. But first of all, the Ten Commandments Commandments were written for the Jews. They weren't written for Christians. Okay? And people in the Old Testament didn't follow the Ten Commandments any more perfectly than we do today in modern times. However, the Ten Commandments were given to Moses by God. Moses didn't make them up. Moses.
I mean, Moses didn't exist. I mean, the scholars, there's scholarly consensus that that concludes that Moses was more legendary than factual. So, I mean, Moses is made up. So, pretty sure it was a composite of people that sort of created the Ten Commandments. Whatever Middle Eastern individuals those people happen to have been at the time. I suppose like Canaanites, whatever the hell you call them.
At this time, there was other civilizations that made laws, okay, to run their communities, but the Ten Commandments is what separated the people of Israel from the rest of the world. And not only the Ten Commandments, but there's more laws in the Ten Commandments. They get a complete description of all the
613 to be specific.
Laws that were given to Moses, and the laws that Moses gave to the Christian people, that we today in the New Testament we look up to both the laws that were given to Moses by God and the laws that Moses gave to the people to keep people in line. It all comes from God because God and Moses had it like that. Okay, they had it like that. A couple of illustrations here. I'm going to show you in real time, in everyday.
Yeah, God and Moses just fist bumping and shit.
Like how, Christians, they try to, like these apologists like Frank Derrick and different ones, they try to tell you as an atheist how God is moral and how God is, God's form of morality beats the morality that coexists among humans. Now, let me first of all say that God's standard of morality is for his people. So when we become Christians, we are stepping away from the morality that we understand is moral and good. We're stepping away from that to the supreme shadow of morality, which makes us supreme beings. Let me say that again. When we leave the world and we come into the kingdom of God and we begin to practice his standard of righteousness, our standard of righteousness becomes higher and supreme above the righteousness, the morals, the integrities of the people of the world. Okay? For example, preacher.
Now, I mean, this is an assertion. Now, honestly, I mean that's all well and good, but what should happen next is there should be like an argument for why this ought to, because I'm pretty sure he's heard the is ought distinction at least once. Probably not, obviously, but what will be the argument to support that assertion?
Has a beautiful daughter. His daughter goes to a public school. She's getting ready to go into the 9th grade. And just like when my girls were growing up, they went to a public school and they wanted to be like the girls in school. Girls in school chasing boys and being chased by boys and wearing the skimpy clothes, skirts all the way up, tight shorts, tight spandex, whatever. Couldn't wait to grow a set of breasts before they started exposing them. You know what I'm saying? And I remember a friend of mine when I was a supervisor at the YMCA. I remember a friend of mine who had this, I can say that on this channel, but she had this tight daughter. She was tight from head to toe. Now, women might not know what I mean when I say tight, but the guys know what I'm talking about. She was tight from head to toe, okay? I mean, she was just straight up tight, okay?
Please stop using slang. What is with these old heads trying to use slang to sound hip? Just say she looked good. She had it going on and move on. Shit.
Everything about her was just tight. Okay. Her own mother said the most immoral thing that I ever heard any mother. Now I used to joke around with her mother because we're adults, and at that time I was like checking her out, even though I know that I should only date Christians. I was checking out this girl's mother. until her mother said this right here. I was checking out her mother one day, and her mother got offended with me because I told her one day because she was talking about me going somewhere with her, and I made a sexy comment about, you know,
this dude making a sexy comment. Oh boy, I'm dubious. Okay.
Her wearing a bikini, okay, because she wanted me to go someplace where it was at like some kind of water park or resort or whatever. And I told her I'm not a water freak, but you in a bikini, I was flirting with her, okay, and she got a little bit offended that I said that. And I don't know if she got offended because she thought that she had a complex about what she looks like in a bikini, or if she thought I was being too much of a sexual pervert. I don't know, but after she told me this, I would say she had a low self-esteem about what she looked like in a bikini. But me being a guy, we undress women with our eyes. I knew she looks good in a bikini. Okay, but it was a day later, or that after that event, where me and her were joking about her wearing a bikini.
Oh boy, this guy. Man, he could not find a point if it was fucking written on his fucking big ass forehead, this 5 head he got under this cap. Just why you got a hat and why you wearing a hat indoors, man? Get to the damn point. What's this? Is he gonna throw this window away? What the hell's going on? Jesus.
That she was talking to somebody about her daughter, and I happened to walk up, and I was just eavesdropping on a conversation because I had some things to do here at the desk. And she says, after the other lady left, she says to me, she says, I worry about my daughter. And I said, well, I said, me and her both, like, at that time, my girls and her daughter, she had a little boy and a teenage daughter. I had 2 daughters that went to school with her daughter. My daughters were age apart, year apart, and they were all headed for middle school. Okay, but little boy was getting ready to. They were all hitting, they're all hitting high school, and little boy was getting ready to hit middle school. So she says to me, she's talking about her daughter, and she said, well, I got on my daughter about her dress apparel and stuff. We had a debate. We had to talk about it. And I says, yeah, your daughter dresses very tight. She knew what I meant. She says, yeah. She says, but you know what I've been thinking? And she wasn't talking about her daughter's attitude too. She says, you know what? I've been thinking. If I looked like her, I would probably dress like that too. And if I looked like her, I would probably act like her too. So the mom is taking lessons from her daughter. And her mom is exposing herself.
Okay, so in this long-winded fucking monologue, I guess he was saying he was criticizing the mom for being more liberal and letting her daughter dress a certain way, which apparently is I guess immoral in the Christian worldview or whatever the fuck. Okay, so I don't know why the fuck he didn't just say that, but I guess actually coming up with coherent arguments is apparently lost amongst the older generation. But anyway, I'll put this. So okay, here's the thing. There's the issue about young people and the issue of sex and how one ought to deal with those certain issues growing up at that age. Now, there are some people who think that it's best for young people not to explore those things, not to have sex, and not to interact as like regular young human beings at that age do. There are other people now that there's that school of thought, and we understand how well that works. I mean, hell, in all them states with those abstinence-only education courses, I mean, they have the highest fucking level of teen pregnancy and to a lesser extent STDs and all that. Also, we understand that if you give the young people access to birth control, comprehensive sex ed courses, we have lesser of these issues and less of these issues to worry about, like teen pregnancy, STDs, and all these other serious issues. but Deeroy Cruz, I suppose he's of the opinion that I mean he hasn't said it, but apparently that's the sort of mindset he's going in, and I think he is a bit confused as to what he's trying to actually argue for, actually make a case for exactly, and how he talks about his morality.
That
Other than God says it, so it must be moral.
she is naive and immature about women, young girls in school and in the workplace, because the morality of God, the morality of the world, at least I thought it was not about being immodest and calling it good, or being immodest and calling it the way of the world, the way we're supposed to.
I remember this dude did freak out about Drag's nips. Like he was freaking out about this dude being shirtless, and while he was reviewing this video, I'm actually shirtless too, by the way. It's not power, just that I just don't give a fuck. But yeah, this dude has weird issues regarding like dress codes and shit like that, and how people like ought to act a certain way. I mean, I don't know if this dude is like repressed in some kind of sense, but it would explain why he's such a weirdo about this. Yeah.
Okay. And she was telling me this, I really felt bad that I ever teased her about me seeing her in a bikini, because I realized that her mindset. Okay, I'm having adult conversations with her, but she's a disciple of her own daughter, whom she lacks the ability to control. The preacher has a beautiful daughter. Tells his daughter, he asks her, "Where are you going?" Dressed like that. "Well, I'm going with my friend. We're going to a party."
Apparently, he started a new story. He has a habit of like going on and on consistently with these never-ending stories until the video ends.
Dad already knows that he's a Christian. Christians don't go to parties. The definition of a party for a Christian is different than the definition of a party for a kid that's not growing up in a Christian home. So he started talking to his daughter about, well, at least come in the house and change clothes. No, Dad, they get in an argument about it. Mom has to come out, and as Dad's going down, she sends Dad back in the house. Mom calms the daughter down and says, "Sweetheart, you know what you've been taught. You know all we do, we just love you. We just want to protect you. Please be careful. Have fun at the party."
There are two different definitions for party. This really stupid.
Please be careful. This daughter, she is the preacher's daughter. She's in a youth group where they party all the time. Just don't party the way people in the world party. They don't get their party tips off of Beyonce and Jay-Z. There ain't gonna be no tip drill songs played at a Christian party. There ain't gonna be like no music that says, it's getting hot in here. Take off all your clothes. There ain't gonna be no songs played like that at a Christian party. There's a total difference.
Oh, not in here. Not in here, sir. No. We ain't gonna be there. There ain't gonna be no gyrating of the hips. There ain't gonna be none of that reefer. No, none of that elite, none of that Mr. Booze. No, not in here. This is a house of God. God, Jameson God. Oh man, calm down with your old foghorn leghorn black preacher voice fake ass, man. Calm down, bro. Oh man.
And what we call a party, and what the secular world calls party. So, but the girl is young. She's a young child, a young girl, and you know what I mean. She's thinking that the boys in school, aren't paying her enough attention. But she's gonna find out years later that Christians don't date secular. They don't date outside the church anyway. But because she's going to a secular school, then she feels that she needs.
I mean, it's weird. I mean, especially given the fact that Christianity is actually declining in the West, particularly in the United States. But yeah, a lot of those atheists and Gnostics and people like that, they they used to be Christians, and now Now they're becoming more secular with the rise of science and reason and stuff like that, and education, and now they're dating other secular people, or whoever they like, regardless of their beliefs.
The boys of the secular school, because there's not enough Christians here. Okay, she needs the boys at the secular school to like her and be her friends, even if it means that they want to be her friends because they like the way she looks. So she goes to the party with her girlfriend, who's not a Christian. And the guys immediately start letting her know, girl, I didn't think you had it in you. What's going on, girl? You looking good. Ooh, girl, you looking good. Next thing you know, the party gets started. The drinks come out. Wait a minute, we're old enough to drink. Party comes out. Drinks come out. Somebody back here smoking marijuana. Okay, what's going on? Girls getting in the middle.
Oh man, this dude is a fool, bro.
Shake it, baby. Shake it, baby. Show me what you're working with. Show me what you're working with.
This is hell stupid. Oh God.
And Christian girls,
No, record that shit. So, I gotta bring that back. Bring that back.
Smoking marijuana. Okay.
Oh.
They dancing. Guys getting around. They bumping and grinding with that. Shake it, baby.
Oh yeah, Deeroy, get down, bro. Get down. Get down with your crotch ass.
Get in the middle. They dancing. Guys getting around. They bumping and grinding with that. Shake it, baby. Shake it, baby. Show me what you're working with. Show me what you're working with.
Somebody make a gif of this shit, please.
They get it on. And
oh my God, bruh. This boy, this dude put the corn in cornball. Oh Jesus. Oh man, we gotta make him the new G-Man, bro.
So she's starting to feel kind of they get it on. And the Christian girl, she ain't used to going to these kind of parties. So she's starting to feel kind of out of place.
Oh God.
So she decides to go hide something and not make herself look so inadequate. She goes over here and this guy starts whispering stuff into her ear and, hey baby, you want to get out of here and do something? Do something like what? What you want to do? Hey, you want to have a drink? Hey, you want to do this? Hey, I got some weed. You know what I'm saying? Typical thing that we worry about our kids getting into when they go out to a party at a young age. I remember when my daughters were, and I did it, and my daughters got mad at me because I got to the party early. I made sure that when they went to a party, that I had to talk with their parents, and I made sure that the parents were at the party with my daughters. That this wasn't a party where people were having a party with no adults supervising. I make sure that I dropped my daughters off so I could get a look at what this party's all about, and I picked them up. My daughters used to get mad when I got there early. I said, I'm just sitting in the car. Calm down. Go back and enjoy yourself. I'm just sitting in the car. But party got kind of rowdy, got kind of wild. Preacher's daughter told her girlfriend, I want to leave because the guys in the party were just starting to act like perverts. She said, oh, come on, you only got a couple more hours left. Can't you do something with yourself for a couple hours? Next thing you know, he's trying to pull girlfriend over here, and she's turning this down, but she's saying, okay, I'll do this. Make a long story short, pretty soon, disaster happens. Some people snuck out of the party. Things start to get quiet. The police get called. Detective Vincent and Detective Elliott and Ice-T show up at the party. And they go talking about.
Wait a minute. Did he just switch from talking about like his daughters to a Law and Order SVU episode? Like what the fuck? I think this dude might have some issues, bro, going up in the upper story.
Great kid. Asking questions, who did this to you? Okay. 2 girls will be shattered for the rest of their lives because somebody didn't listen to her parents. And one didn't want to leave when things got rowdy. She didn't want to leave, but she wanted the attention that can only be given when we step away from what is true and right. You want attention. Like that video, I did a video on Harry Spears, where Harry Spears, in order for him to become one of the world's best comedians, best black Gary Spears when he was barely in high school. He stripped on stage in front of a bunch of teenagers, as well as a bunch of older women that should have been chaperoning this. They were getting turned on by it with the young teenage girls. But you ask Gary Spears, is he a moral person? Of course he is. He's not a rapist. He don't shoot nobody.
I fail to see what this has to do with secular morality versus biblical morality. But all right.
He's a moral person, even though he did what he did now. Preacher has to not only watch his daughter live a life coming up that she wasn't meant to live. I imagine she might have became an atheist. Okay, I don't know. But as Christians, we would have never ever let our daughters or our children, period, do certain things because we know the implications that can happen when you cross the line. We know where the line is. We know where the line is. Okay? And when I was in church camp, we didn't even practice swimming with the girls. And I remember the guys on the bus, we would let the girls swim first. And then we would go back to the campground and pick up the guys. The guys, all these guys, go to church. They're in this camp because they go to church somewhere. Okay? They're standing up in the bus, trying to look over this wall and see if they recognize any of the girls from camp, which one has the hottest bikes. Okay? And there were some of us that just sat there like, hey, we supposed to be in church camp. Like, what's the point in separating the boys and the girls if all we're going to do is try to like take sneak peeks? And there were guys that when we got there, they would try to run into the parlor where the girls were leaving the pool to get in. And you know what? There were times when it was very, we got a big laugh because if a girl was late leaving the pool, she had to come out to the lobby and go around to get into the main shower area. And so 100 male students, 100 male campers seeing this one precious little thing come out there going, oh, excuse me. And she, and most of these girls didn't wear bikinis, they wore bathing suits. Now, to me, that's nothing to be ashamed about. But the thing is, them wearing even bathing suits because them growing up in a Christian home where we don't practice.
I mean, what the hell is your big ass point? Like, do you want them to wear like those like Islamic dresses like they wear out in the Middle East, like have them look like something out of Mortal Kombat or something like that? Like, is that your friggin' your big solution? Like what are you trying to articulate? Like, what are you trying to conjugate out of that out of your southern dialect, sir? Like what the hell are you trying to say? Like, fucking spit it the fuck out.
You know, unisex swimming, we practice boys swim separately from the girls, and we, that's what it is. So girls are very shy and very, very innocent about being seen with their naked hips showing because they're not used to that. And I believe there's something good about that. Okay. Here's another illustration that will hit on the float. I watched a video before I watched these couple of Frank Turk videos. I watched a video keeping up with John Jones on MMA. Now, I've done a video about how I feel about MMA, but I do watch MMA. I watch certain MMA stars.
Well, I guess that's one thing we could agree on. MMA is pretty cool. I'll agree with you on that. Man got a point with that. I'll give him that.
First fight. One thing that's always troubled me about MMA is that you're allowed to do certain things to win. Okay? And if you knock your opponent on the ground, you're allowed to do certain things to him or her on the ground, but he cannot do it back to you because you're already on the ground. He's not allowed to do it, okay? Because
oh my god. Oh geez. Okay, MMA is MMA. Okay, the acronym it means mixed martial arts. That means boxing. It combines boxing, like karate, friggin' taekwondo, Muay Thai with elbows and friggin' knees and stuff like that, and also like ground fighting, like judo, jiu-jitsu, vale tudo, all that stuff. Okay, that's how the game is played, bro. Like, I mean, if you don't like it, I suggest just focus on kickboxing or maybe something else.
Somebody got me down on the ground and they're hurting me. Okay, I'm going to do certain things to get him off. But once they get you down on the ground, you can't like grab him by the throat. Like anytime I've been a guy got me down on the ground one time, and I sucked the air out of him. I grabbed him by the nose. Okay, he couldn't breathe. Another time a guy got me down on the ground, I grabbed his throat.
Wait, like there's a difference between a friggin' like a competition, like a match in a ring, and a friggin' self-defense situation. I mean, like there's a fundamental difference. Like one has rules, the other one is like a potential life or death situation in which your individual autonomy is at risk. Anyway.
Got rolled over on top of him. You can't do that in MMA. So John Jones, he goes after the guy's feet. He goes after him rolling hard. He fights Belfort. 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 Went after him in the first round and he got him down. He elbowed him in the face. Now, these gloves are put on their hands so that they're not as dangerous a blow when you get hit in the face, and they also wear a mouthpiece. When someone's hitting you with the elbow, common sense tells us that this ear position is not as bad as this position. If you can hit somebody in the elbow, you don't know how many fights I've won using my elbow. Okay? First time I hit somebody in the face with my elbow, the fight was just about over. Okay? John Jones knew what he was doing. He came in and he kept hitting the guy in the face with the elbow. The guy started bleeding very, very easily. The floor got bloody. I mean, it just got bloody. And I know a Christian that believes taking kids, young boys, to see an MMA fight. Giving them tickets. Go see an MMA fight when they go to these public schools where they're being bullied all the time. What you need to be teaching these kids is you need to be taking them for some free karate lessons or some free self-defense lessons. Okay? Because too many people are learning MMA. Okay? And there are people in the military coming out of the military with all these honors and they become terrorists. There's cops who are using their skills that they learned in the police academy and beyond as a way to hurt and harm innocent suspects. How many of these MMA fighters have been arrested for using the same amount of deadly force that they use in the ring on their female victim whom they raped? But MMA, God forbid.
Okay, I think now is probably a good stopping point because he's he like there was no real consistency throughout this video, of course, but yeah, he's bringing in the cops and MMA. I agree that there needs to be police reform because the police can act up when it comes to dealing with suspects. Half the time it's a benign situation, and they tend to use deadly force. I'm not too sure about the MMA fighters like raping their girlfriends. I don't know how many of them actually them do that. I don't know, because it sounds like you're making some kind of hasty generalization with no real statistics to back that up. But yeah, I think just going back to the you know what, fuck it, we're already near the end. We might as well play some of the rest of it.
Or should I say the secular world forbid that I shall ever say anything about MMA or the people that practice MMA. God forbid that I should ever attack martial arts in any way and what martial arts mean to suspects. Because see, you can practice all the Buddhism and yoga, okay, and practice karma all you want to. There is a secular, immoral, criminal side to everything. I know people that you can't.
None of that stuff is secular, what you just said. So just gonna point that out.
Drink around them.
All of them are spiritual traditions, just like Christianity.
Because for every drink that you drink, they're going to drink 3. For every bottle of beer that you finish, they're going to drink 3 bottles. So if you drink 2 bottles, they're going to drink 6. I know for every person out here that owns a gun and is well trained in marksmanship, to know how to use his gun, he's got a friend who will not leave that gun at home, but take that gun to work with him against the company's policy. He will take that gun everywhere with him. You got people out there that own guns and they have temper problems. I haven't even gone to the scripture yet. But the morality of God is no joke. No joke. The Bible says, do not do anything that would make your brother stumble. So if I eat too much sweets and I only weigh 100 and some pounds, I don't need to be doing that in front of somebody that weighs 300 pounds. She didn't get there, okay, by not eating no sweets. She didn't get there because she was on a diet. Got there because of people like me eating these sweets around her, and then she does the same thing. Anyway, I'll do a part 2 of this. clear to me that God's standard of morality is higher than man's standard of morality. I would have to be crazy in order to really, really, really explain to you God's standard of morality. I would have to be crazy to fulfill it. But the fact is that it is higher, and there is no argument. I'll throw the scriptures in the next video. Thanks for watching.
Okay, that's the totality of the video. Wow. Okay, just one complete incoherent rant. All right, so basically, in a nutshell, like the few coherent points they made regarding the Ten Commandments and how it was given to man and all that stuff, and how it's like based on God's word and all that stuff. Yeah, that's real neat and everything. But yeah, all of these issues and notions this guy has about sexuality, how people interact with one another, all these different excuse me, all these different different social issues in particulars that this guy brings up. I mean, it just seems to be him rambling, right? So yeah, it sounds like he wants the society to be some kind of Christian Sharia, and that's just not how it works. I mean, humans, first off, humans don't need religion as a necessary thing to be moral. Like there are very secular places where they have very high irreligious populations with people who don't follow any religion or believe in any kind of deity, and you know, they're happy, they're productive, they have low crime rates, low corruption rates in their politics. You know, they're doing well. I mean, the idea that one ought to like believe in a deity in order to be moral. I mean, that idea is has been scrutinized. It's been satirized and otherwise debunked. I mean, it's old, like that issue as with regard to philosophy is a done deal. So I mean, it doesn't matter how much you rant or monologue, like that issue as it stands, the idea that humans can't be good without God is completely absurd. I mean, that there are many philosophies that talk about like secular morality and how one can be good without any kind of supernatural framework. So yeah, but it's funny that he completely made this entire tirade just off of like just things that he just gets from just these mere anecdotes and these testimonies. I mean, if he actually like took the time to actually graft these and organize them in a like in sort of a bullet list or something like that, I like that would have been much better. Other than just this muddled mess, just sounds like he just he just threw darts at a board, just saw what sticks, and not a lot of it stuck. Not a lot of it made much sense. It just seemed to be very flimsy, if you ask me. But yeah, I think we need to get this guy in a Google Hangout or maybe on Discord, something like that, because he seems to have something of a very interesting thought. It'd be nice to actually pick some of his ideas in his head. But that's all I gotta say. That's my assessment. That's my 2 cents on this guy. All right, this has been Wolf King. Peace out. If you like this video, you know what to do. Stop by there to know, and hail Satan. Good night. This dude is a trip. He's like G-Man 2.0.